This is Richard back at you. Today we've got a Dodge truck, 61-inch tall tires, guys, massive. He said he had this tranny built, $6,000, Trent.
$6,000 to
$8,000. Didn't last one night at the
Rednecks
and Paycheck, guys, and you know that place. So if you ain't got something extreme, you ain't playing. So 61 inches or whatever, they're big. But anyway, it didn't last. I think he says he runs it in low gear and second gear only, fully manual shifting type thing. Now it is an overdrive and it does have lockup. So I guess he's not using any of that type of stuff because it didn't look like the plug has ever been plugged in. You see here. Now also, anytime you're running the 3-speed part of this, just saying if you're going to put this tranny in your truck and not hook these wires up here, you can run the 3-speed part of this tranny and be fine. But you still have to hook up the detent cable. Now this rod here cable will go up to the carburetor or throttle body, and when you give it gas, it will push this lever back and it will control pressure and how early and how late the transmission shifts. So if you leave this off, I don't care if you have it manual low, manual second, you have no pressure rise when you put it to the floor and you're going to burn the tranny up. So it's gone, period. I mean, around the block. It's just like a 700 R4. If you leave the detent cable, the passenger cable unhooked, it'll burn the tranny up. Identical thing here. So, but what you got here in this connector is you have a 3-wire plug. One's a power wire, one's a ground wire, and the other one's a ground wire. So basically we have a lockup ground, we have an overdrive ground, we have a key on power with a relay and a fuse. So that's how I would make it work. Now, what I like about these trannies are they're really, you can put them in anything. I have an 03 Dodge myself at home that's a twin turbo, come out factory with a 6-speed. Got tired of shifting gears and stuff, and I put this same unit right back in it. I got 2 toggle switches down here by my leg on the console for my overdrive and lockup. Works really nice. Put in drive, shifts out on its own. Really nice tranny. So let's get this apart and see what it looks like. For this kind of money, it should be really nice. It should have golden parts in it. So we're going to get this little cover off here.
I like that, by the way. Golden parts. We should have some good parts in there for that much money.
For that kind of money, it should have some good parts in it. So, okay. Now we're going to get our shifter linkage off here first. Now normally there'd be another linkage hanging off the side that would push back. Looks just like this, hangs off the top that pushes back. It'll have a spring on it that holds it to the lever coming here. That way it comes back every time you give it gas. You let off the gas, it comes back. The spring will pull it back. So they say this tranny is just like a 700. It has to have this hooked up. If it doesn't, it just burns the tranny right out of the vehicle. So. Now I'm expecting to see all kinds of pretty parts in here. Now we notice it does have a billet input shaft in the tranny. Other than that, I can't see anything else right at the moment. So. Did I get them all? Oops, missed one, excuse me. Tie strap right there covering it. Now when I build these trannies, I build them in 2 pieces. I physically build the overdrive section, then I build the 3-speed section. But then you got to put them together, set your clearances, take them apart, put them together, check your clearances. There's a ton of work to make this tranny right if you're a good builder. So we're going to get in here and look at the overdrive clutch. Now you can see here, we just have a 5 clutch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now being that this unit here, Doesn't have a tow haul button. We can put a plate in here and add an extra clutch. We can do away with this snap ring down in here. There's two snap rings. One's a wavy and one's a non-wavy. We can get rid of this wavy one here, and then we can put another steel and clutch in here. Anytime you can add one clutch to a clutch pack, it's a tremendous advantage. So now you notice here he did have really nice coal-in steels and clutches and stuff in here, but it just cooked it right out. I mean, like I said, he said this thing only lasted one time out, but we're going to get to the bottom of it and find out the failure of this thing. So let me get over here and get one of my snap ring pliers, excuse me. Now there's a snap ring down in here and a support bearing. It keeps everything from moving back and forth, and that's this big bearing right here. Now you always want to check this bearing, because if it's going to wear, it's going to wear on the back side, not physically on the roller side. It's always being pushed backwards. Now we do have a governor here, real early design, where a 4748 RE style does not have this governor back here. It's got the governor pressure sensors and solenoid in the pan of the tranny. So this is a very early unit. Now it should have a, I'm going to look at this really quick. Normally on a true diesel governors, this is a big heavy brass weight right here. I know mine is in my diesel. It gives it that early type shift and stuff. Let me see if I can get this out. And it's not, it looks just like a gas governor. So we could have all kinds of mixed up parts in this tranny, because normally being a diesel, this part of the governor right here would be a real heavy brass piece right here. Try to get this little pin out here. Kind of see if I can push it this way. It's got a burr on it right here on the end. They always do it with this little snap ring right here, anchors to it. So it puts a little burr where you can't pull it out right here on the end. So, but normally this piece right here would be a real heavy copper looking piece. I mean, you'd think it'd weigh 2 pounds, but this is just a stock gas governor. Wow. So now will it work in his application? You know, he's shifting it really high RPM possibly, or he never shifts it at all once he gets going. So it's really hard to say. So now this here is our overdrive direct clutch and overdrive planetary assembly in here. It's got that 800-pound spring that my last video, or I actually got a video out there that shows you me disassembling it and stuff like that. So and we have our overdrive piston right here. You know, all these seals feel really hard, like they've never been replaced, you know, so it's really hard to say, you know, if they were replaced. Yep. Let's see here. Look for another socket, but actually looking for my other impact, really. And we have our band adjustment here.
Oh, that's funny. That's what fell.
Is that what fell?
Yeah, look in the bolts.
Ah, there it is.
Try to abandon ship.
Trying to abandon ship and get out of work.
Hey, speak
Shame
of,
on you.
while we're talking, the black covers.
Oh, yes. Everybody said, where'd my red go? Where'd the color go? And these actually have the Milwaukee guards on them and stuff. Protects them from any damage or anything like that. It's really, really nice.
They were keeping them looking pretty.
Mm-hmm. All three of my new impacts got them on there, so. Got a really nice looking chrome pan here that we'll be getting rid of for him. We just have issues with chrome stuff leaking, so we just consider that pretty much a no-no when it comes to a pan. You can pretty much guarantee it's going to leak sometime. Now if you come in here and grind something, get a 180 grit paper or something, grind this down, get this chrome off here and take it to metal, and the pan gas will actually hold pretty good, but you can see there this thing's just totally cooked. Totally cooked. Let me get my squeegee, son.
Yes, sir.
I really like this thing. It works really nice, guys. This is one nasty thing. Now, you can see here we already have an issue with our band piston being blown out. Our band servo that applies the reverse band. Now the band's probably just going to be totally smoked. I could have swore this was a 3-pin. You got that flashlight, Trent?
I sure do, Captain.
Now what we got here, this is a 2-pin. Excuse me, I thought it was a 3-pin. It had lockup and overdrive. This is just a single lockup or overdrive style unit. It does not have a lockup solenoid. If you notice here, the bracket is empty. For the solenoid, you can see the overdrive solenoid,
Gotcha.
but the lockup solenoid isn't there. Now this is the style filter that we'll use, that we'll put back on there. It's a high flow filter, sucks top and bottom, very seldom gets plugged up, lasts 10 times longer than any other filter you can put on here. But if you get to look in here, we just have an overdrive solenoid only, a hot and a black wire for a ground, so just one toggle switch and this tranny would work. Now for heating or anything like that, Chrysler made this tranny for a very short period of time, about 1.5 years, and they booted it really quick. Without a lockup torque converter and a Cummins, it just will not pull. It just will not pull. So they got rid of it really quick. Now if you know how to do it, I can come in here and take this valve body off and put a lockup valve body on here and change a couple things and make it a lockup, so it can be done. Now we get over here, you can look in here, just the 2 wires. I thought there was 3. Normally if it had a lockup, it'd have 1 power and 2 grounds, but we just have a power and a ground only for 1 solenoid. So we have no lockup stuff right here on the end of the valve body. I can't tell really if it's been shift kitted or anything like that. We'll just have to get it apart, go through it and see. So now it does, if you notice here, it's got some really nice aftermarket anchors in it for the bands, or for the band. We're still looking for the money, guys. That's what we're looking for. So this guy paid a ton of money for this tranny. Now these are aftermarket. They're really nice. A lot heavier duty than the factory ones. We got your accumulator piston right here. If you look at it, it doesn't have the spring in it to try to soften the shift or anything like that for your second gear shift. But it does have this should be probably a dual ring. accumulator piston right here. They put 2 seals on it that it doesn't leak by as easy. So all trannies have cross leaks, and they just try to eliminate all of it in the shifting part of it for sure. Whew. Now you can see this thing here is, the band is just totally burnt plumb up. Try and get that out of the way. Well, that almost looks scary, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it's trying to pop out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's solid.
Boy, that's solid. That's really solid, huh?
That's kinda scary.
That's one thing you don't want to happen on these things is ruin a case.
Nope.
You ruin a case on one of these, man, this is a $500 case right here, if not more. So nowadays, you look for one, they know what they have and what you want. So they kind of got you when you start looking for these type of parts. You mentioned Cummins, you're in trouble. Okay. Now we're going to look and see what size pump we have. Now, you know, in the early diesels, they kind of look like pump or gas pump gears. They got a little bit wider tooth on them and stuff to grab a little bit more fluid. You notice they made the anchors for the pump gears on the converter a lot bigger, where the gas ones are thin. So there is a difference still, even in this tranny being a diesel. It's not the biggest gears they made, but it still is a bigger gear than a gas. So mainly they're going to ask you the count here and the count here, and you're probably going to have to mic them too to make sure you get the right one. So we got quite a bit of wear on our pump stator here where the gears runs. You can see it here. Really bad on one side. Bluing still on this side. But this side here is wore pretty bad. You can feel the rut here. So it's definitely going to have a pump stator put in it. Just stock rings. Now this looks like a stainless ring. And it is a stainless ring. Now we'll go back with high pressure rings from our Transgo kit here. Everything is in this box that you'll need. The springs, the seals, the manual valve, all that type of stuff. Everything is in this box. Really nice kit. So we put one in every unit that we build. Every unit. So you want to look here. The pump body looks really nice still though. Almost looks like it's never been used. Now you notice the diesels all have them dimpled bushings for the pump. That way that bushing stays lubricated really nice. So they got anchors where you anchor the bushing here. So now this is your vent. See it here? Now we have plugged these holes and tapped them and plugged them right here and moved the vent. If it's four-wheel drive underwater, like this one probably is going to be, we'll be tapping this right here, plugging it, and then we'll run a vent out of the top of the case and run it up to the brake booster or something like that. That way it's totally out of the way. Can't get water down in the unit. So you don't want to build this gentleman another high dollar unit and him go out and tear it up or get water for sure. Now we do have an aftermarket band. Now it's a heavy duty band, but it isn't the one that we use. We like to use the 727 3-speed band. A lot more material on the band. Actually, I got some over here. Let me grab one real quick. Now you can see here, a lot more material on the band instead of running the grooves through here and stuff like that. So a big upgrade right there. Now they do have an aftermarket drum here. It looks really nice. This is called your your third gear drum, second gear drum, your second gear band goes around, your third gear clutch goes inside. Now this is a really nice drum, but he's already got it, all the clutches cooked in it. Get out of there. Now, just like this here, Ben, this is a high horsepower thing. I mean, there's no telling how much power this guy makes. And they put a wavy snap ring for third gear. I mean, why would you even do that, guys? I mean, you want to get rid of this chunk it, put your 350K snap ring in here, 400K snap ring. There it is right there. Take that cushion out of there. You don't care if it shifts soft. Here we have some nice Alto clutches again. Got your coated steels. Already burned up. Didn't last no time. And I'm starting to lean towards this kickdown cable issue not being hooked up. You know, without it hooked up, you have no pressure to shift into overdrive. You have no pressure to shift into third. You have no pressure to shift into second. You have no pressure. So, drum still looks good here with the sealing rings run. Bushings wore. But it's a really nice drum. Same way here. Looks like we got a billet drum here. We got our forward clutches out. Now he did get all Alto clutches. But man, he's already put the, look at that steel.
Telling me that's not supposed to be like that or something?
I don't think so. I think that's been hot.
Yeah, I think
But
so.
once again, guys,
Wow.
now you're thinking, well, the TV cable don't have nothing to do with the forward clutch. Why is the forward clutch messed up? Well, let me tell you why this forward clutch is messed up. The forward clutch is messed up because the filter stopped up. Once it stopped up, we lose pump pressure. Then here goes our forward clutch. So, but it died because our TV cable wasn't hooked up and adjusted properly. Took out overdrive, took out third, plugged the filter up, started taking out the forward clutch. Wait till we get to the back of this and look at this band, this reverse band. Because now, he can't even, when he puts it, now, when I talk about TV pressure and pressure rise, just saying when we put this in drive, we put it to the floor 180 pounds. When we put this in reverse, it's 220 pounds. Your pressure doubles in reverse. So once our clutches started failing going forward, our filter stopped up, our filter stopped up, our pump pressure couldn't get up to 220 pounds to back up. So now we killed our band too. See, so it's a domino effect. And it's going to probably go back to the TV cable adjustment no matter how you look at it. The bevel looks really good. Now the seals are cut. We got a nice billet drum here. Looks like he's got looks like got some type of high pressure ring on here. No, it's just a factory ring. Which you can see it's a Teflon type.
Gotcha.
So it's not metal. Now you come down here, you look at your forward clutch ring. It's just a stock, it ain't stainless, it's just a steel ring. So, but nice billet piece here, still looks in good shape. Wish there was a name on here so I could see whose it was. But I don't see any name. So, okay. Hopefully this will, excuse me, right here. Hopefully this will come out and it's not melted. That didn't sound good.
That's solid.
Yeah, so it's probably melted into the back of the case back here. So let's take it apart a little bit different way. Normally we could pull this whole piece out, the intermediate shaft, the planets, and all that stuff would just come out in one whack and I could take it apart on the bench. But then, being that we have so much heat in the back here, we're probably going to have melted pieces. Hopefully, if this is a billet intermediate shaft, it ain't tore up. So, because right here, when we start getting into money, we want to save this gentleman as much money as possible. Now, if you get in here and look at these washers, you can tell they never were replaced. There's no way, not at the short period of time this training has on it, it would have these imprints. I don't care how heavy your truck is. So, now we do have 6 pinion planets. You want to check these, make sure there's no wobbling, anything like that. The thrust washers ain't wore out, teeth pitting, anything like that. So, we're going to get it down here to our shell and our sun gear. Same way. You can see these washers got so much load put on, they're just embedding themselves into this planet right here. And here we go. I see tons of damage. Okay, but if you look here, how this washer is bigger than here, bigger than this. Well, they upgraded the back of this to a 6 pinion rear planet. Normally this training would have had aluminum planets back here in the back. But you can actually get a wider washer here that'll cover this whole washer here. They didn't, they just upgraded it to the wide washer. Now it hangs off the side. So it ain't gonna hurt nothing, you just don't get the full effect of the washer. So, same way here, you wanna look at these sun gears for any type of pitting, anything like that. Say, we get these cleaned up, if we get them tore down, we find a ton of stuff. Okay guys, here we go. Now, what happened here? What do you think happened here? Why do you think this went down, guys? To me, since we didn't have the TV cable hooked up, we started burning the tranny up, and next thing you know, our cooler line flow comes to non-existing, and now our lubrication goes plumb down, goes away. Now we have no cooler line flow. We have no lubrication coming back into the tranny. Now we have all this stuff melted in the back here, and it goes back to no oil being put on this washer here in the back. You can see it just cooked all, blistered it all off. So we'll come in here. You can see some pieces embedded in the teeth right here. We have to go back and look at these gears and stuff like that, see if everything's still good. Any pitting, because like I say, all this metal, these gears have been running over this sun gear and stuff in here, so it's just been grinding. So, now Trent, you got your flashlight?
Oh man.
If you get in here and look,
Where'd it go?
that's right on the table. If you can see that snap ring right there is already off. I see we didn't take that off, it's already off. Now if you notice, all this stuff back in here is this drum here, it turns. Oh.
How did you? It looked like a huge lift.
Can you believe that?
I'm telling you. It wouldn't have believed. Oh my.
But you can see here, once your cooler line flow stops, this is the first stuff here that gets oil from your cooler. So that's why you see all this stuff melted. Now you get down in here and pull your one-way clutch out, your sprag assembly, roller clutch. Now these things can go in backwards. You got to be really careful when you put them in. Just always remember the spring pushes the roller uphill. So if you'll notice down in there, that has a ramp. The spring always pushes the roller uphill on every one of your roller clutches. But this will fit in there either direction. If you put it in wrong, you're in trouble. So that's a no-no. Okay. Let's get this band out of here really quick. I'm not sure if I can get all that tension. Well,
I don't see how it's loaded.
yeah, that's... I think I'm going to try to knock this pin out first. If I can knock that pin out, then all that lever and stuff should just fall off.
What is that commercial they put up? Warning, we are paid professionals. Do not try this at home.
Okay.
Okay, I'm cameraman.
I see. take that this way.
There's some tension on that
There
pin,
is some
huh?
tension on that pin. Okay. Got to go to plan B. Longer punch. And we're going to shove it out the back. Where'd it go?
I missed it. I don't know where it went.
Hey, it never come back.
Hold on.
Oh, that was oil. Yeah, because all the pieces are here.
Oh, really?
Or the pin's gone. Where'd the pin go? Oh, there's the pin.
Where'd it go? Oh, yeah, that's what.
I guess that was oil that shot up there. I thought it was pieces.
Sorry, guys. That was,
Okay. Now basically you got all your reverse lever here, your arm. You'll have your anchor here. Get this band out of here. You got to kind of turn it to pull it out. But you can. You see, there's nothing on the band. Like I said, without TV rise, you just don't have any pressure rise at all in the tranny. So that's kind of how this all goes back together. Show you here really quick. Like that. Your band will set on there like that. And this will go in here. That's like, in the light, we can kind of see that a little bit better. I'm gonna try to hold it.
yeah.
But you gotta kind of see how it goes. This moves, pulls on the band, pushes the band together like that, and applies it. So, well guys, we got a really nice billet shaft here. Still turns, but it's got to come out. So, we will grab our 3/8 socket, come over here and get this rear support out. Oops. What'd I do? Yeah, I think that bolt's all stripped right there.
Yeah, I think they messed with it. I got that,
This one's stripped too,
Is it?
all the way.
Yeah, you didn't even touch that one.
See how the heads are stripped from off of them, guys? I got enough cores out there. I can go get new bolts and stuff like that. Let me see if I can tap a 3/8 on there. Oh, excuse me, that is a 3/8. What if I can?
I'm trying to think where my kit is. I think my kit's in my drawer if you want to try to go around and grab it.
Yeah. Let me tap this one on there. Warranted for life, guys. There was no socket abuse here. Okay, we got that one out.
Sweet.
So, let's go for round 2.
Oh, yeah.
So, when you're a mechanic, we got to get jobs done, so whatever it takes. There we go.
No socket abuse there.
Okay. Let's set that aside first. I'm going to get this servo piston and stuff out really quick. I'll find my little screwdriver. I tell you, that thing had some pressure on it, didn't it, Trent?
I've never seen one like that.
Your seal here. You want to look at this really good, make sure this thing ain't cracked. As much pressure's on it, it could be cracked around the pin down here on the snout. There's a snout right here, a shank about that long. You want to make sure it ain't cracked around there, because this thing was in a big bind. So anything could be happening to it. So the bore looks really nice still. Don't see any damage in here. Get our intermediate servo out real quick and see what it looks like. Now we got a nice billet servo here. It's an upgrade. Now you can see they shrunk the end of it here. The other servo is a lot bigger. And when they do that, they drive a sleeve in the case right there to shrink it down. So, really nice piece. Looks like it takes the factory metal ring here. So that's your kit should have it. Can you see what lever's in here, Trent? That number, is that 3.8?
Got a 3.8.
3.8 lever. We'll get a 4.0 and put in here. That will help that second gear band a lot. You want to look here, guys? This is the #1 problem these trannies have. Do you see how many times this race has been tacked into that case right there? Well, let me tell you, if I tap on it, it's going to move.
Hold on, let me get it. Hold on, let me get close. Okay.
Did you see that go down?
Yep. Man, it's raging actually.
Yeah. The best thing to do is to take this out. We got some killer epoxy, guys. It works really good. We can put that back in there, epoxy it in, and then we'll go back in and restake it, let it dry, and that race will never move again. So it's a really, you have to do it to pretty much every one of them come in that same way. So, okay, guys.
That's for last.
This is for last.
Oh, man.
Now it turns really nice still, like it hasn't bonded itself to the aluminum, but I'm telling you, it's not going to come out. I'm going to give it a couple little love taps just to see if it will move. Pretty solid there, and it already stopped it from spinning, so we already know that we're in trouble. So what we're going to do now, we're not going to do it here on video, but we're going to do it in the morning. It's getting late in the evening. We're really tired. We're going to go over and put it in the press, and we're going to press this piece out right here. But it'll bust this all to pieces when it comes apart. But we'll put a new one in here. But we don't care nothing. We just care about this shaft. We want this shaft out of here, and we're going to get it out of here without harming it or the best way we can. So we don't have to be waiting on any billet parts. So believe me, this tranny was a train wreck. I believe 100% it goes back to the TV cable adjustment. No pressure, just burnt the tranny up. It just went right on down the line, destroyed itself. It just ate itself up. So it's going to take a lot to get it fixed, but we can do it. Not a problem here for sure, guys. I'm glad he brought it to us. We got a lot more to come. Y'all don't forget to subscribe. And I'm getting tired, so let's go home and have dinner. Y'all have a wonderful day.